Go ahead and call this meeting of the Pittsburg City Commission to order. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Patrick, I think you're up, buddy. There.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of City Commissioner for the City of Pittsburg, Kansas. So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a signature right there.
Welcome, Patrick.
Welcome back, Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody unaware, Patrick has been appointed to finish serving out the term of Monica Mernan, who left to be a state representative. So welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Also, before I go to public input, this evening we have troop number 81 of the Boy Scouts from St. Mary's Colgan with us. They're here to earn their government badge, is that correct? Communications badge.
Citizenship in the community.
Good, good. It's nice to have you guys here this evening.
Yes, welcome.
Okay, we'll open the floor for public input. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak about anything? Not, we'll go ahead and close the public input and move to consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed this evening?
If none, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve. Roll call vote.
Gray,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ketterman,
Aye.
Munsell,
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing, industrial development revenue bonds for Kendall Packaging Corporation. The City of Pittsburgh advertised for a public hearing to be held on January 10th, 2017 at the City Commission Room, commencing at 5:30 p.m. in the City Commission Room. Located in the Law Enforcement Center, 201 North Pine, to consider the request submitted by Kendall Packaging Corporation for the issuance by the city of its industrial development revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $8,640,000 for the purpose of constructing an approximately 61,000 square foot expansion to the Kendall Packaging Corporation manufacturing facility located at 1901 East 27th Street Terrace, purchasing equipment for the use of the facility and paying the cost of issuance.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the Commission. This is the final step in the approval process for the industrial revenue bond that is supporting the current expansion at Kendall Packaging. As you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, this is an $8.6 million expansion that is adding 15 new jobs. And really the way the process goes, if you'll recall, the City Commission had a public hearing last fall. Really that was for the resolution of intent. Now that the attorneys and the banks have inserted all the details and the paperwork, we're now bringing the final product to you. Statutes call for a public hearing, and if there's no problem with the public hearing, then to follow would be the ordinance that would officially recognize the IRB. So would be happy to answer any questions that you might have before you open the public hearing.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak on this? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
There's no questions or comments. I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, consider the following. Ordinance number S1042. Consider approval of ordinance number S1042 Authorizing the City of Pittsburg, Kansas to issue its Industrial Development Revenue Bonds, Series 2017A and 2017B, to provide funds to pay the cost of constructing and equipping the expansion of an existing manufacturing facility, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
No other questions or comments? I'll move to approve as well.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider the following Limelight Marketing LLC Master Services Agreement. Consider staff recommendation to enter into a master service agreement in the amount of $49,000 with Limelight Marketing LLC, in which Limelight Marketing LLC will redesign the City of Pittsburgh's website.
Mayor and City Commissioners, this is one of the more exciting projects I'll be working on this year, and it's been looking forward to doing this for some time. We have our citizens, our businesses, vendors and contractors, visitors to Pittsburgh, and for all those people, the website tends to be our front door. It's what they see first. It's how it's the impression we leave. We really feel we need to upgrade our website. We expect to get a lot of benefits from it. One of the main benefits is we want to have fewer visits to City Hall if we can. Not that we mind seeing people, but if people don't necessarily want to come to City Hall, they shouldn't have to come to City Hall. So hopefully we're going to set it up in a way eventually so that you can do all of your business online. Right? That won't be in the first the initial release, but eventually that's the goal. We want to have more current content on our website. Right now our website's difficult to keep current with all the updated information that happens. There's a lot of things happening in Pittsburgh all the time. A lot of things are changing, and we want to make sure that we can keep that content current. So the new system will have an easier way to keep what's in that website more relevant, more current. We want to make sure that we eliminate a lot of duplication. There's a lot of duplication in the website right now. We want to have one site, one page where you go to get the information you need when you come here. We also want to continually improve the user experience with our website. So we're going to have analytics behind it that'll analyze where people go and how people use it. And if it's not being used the way we think it should be used, we're going to try to change things around it and move it around. One of the main things we want to accomplish is to be able to, ourselves, be able to update the website and make changes to it. That was one of the main pieces that we were looking for. And we had some good responses from our request for proposals. We were very happy that Limelight, our local marketing firm, was able to have what we consider to be the best proposal. They obviously carefully read our requirements and really met them very well. Brandy is here from Limelight if you have any questions for her or questions for me.
Well, the main question I had was, you mentioned that there were going to be other initiatives later on with respect to the website and how it's used for different pieces. I'm assuming that's not included within the 49, and that would be a separate task later on?
That is correct. It's very likely that we'll come back to you for an additional enhancements to the website, but we didn't want to do it at this point because we wanted to get through that first initial version of the website before we moved on further. There's a great deal of potential that we can do, a whole bunch of things we can do with the website. We want to get the core pieces done, what Limelight refers to as the minimal viable product. But after that, we'll do some analysis of where we were, where we are, what can be done better, and then we'll probably come back to you with some additional suggested improvements or changes to the website.
Okay. And what's the time frame for this project?
We hope to have it done April, May. Okay. So we'll be rolling it out to the public probably in May. I don't know, Brandy, did you want to say anything?
You've hit it really well.
Sorry.
I'm happy to answer any questions that there are, and we're excited to have the opportunity to work with the city. The meetings we've had thus far, I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity, and we're committed to creating a very high quality site that will work really well for you guys. So.
She's already scheduled the first meeting for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you don't approve the contract, we'll cancel it.
So it is a ground up build then, like a brand new site?
It is a completely brand-new site on a new platform, yes, starting from scratch. But we will analyze all the existing content that's on the site and work with city staff to identify what content is good and worthy of moving over, what content maybe should move over but with some adjustments, and what content maybe shouldn't be moved over.
Almost everything will be new on the website.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a very positive thing.
It will look like an entirely new, different site, unrecognizable to the current site.
I think one of the main gripes that I've received over the website over the years has been the lack of friendliness from a user standpoint of the current website. And I guess the only thing that I would keep in mind would just caution you guys as we go forward and make some of these decisions about how to incorporate and do some of this on this new website is maybe thinking 10, 15 years ahead. And I know that's hard in today's internet and technology age, but it was just a few years ago, maybe a little bit more than a few, but it was just a few years ago that changes were made to the current website. And a lot of money was spent on the current website, and it didn't roll out to be the product that we all anticipated it to be. So I'm optimistic about this one. We have to do a better job of rolling these things out in a way that the citizens can use. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys put together and that we can actually address needs in a much better way than just having a spot that has a whole bunch of information that people can't navigate and can't find.
An interesting, you're absolutely right, Commissioner. One of the interesting approaches we're taking here is looking at it as a set of scenarios in terms of having individual use cases where people what do they want to do when they come to the website, and then designing the website to easily walk them through those use cases. So it's really a user-centric approach to web development, which the current site clearly doesn't have.
Agreed.
What are some of the key, I mean, I assume you have some ideas at this point, kind of what those major things that need to change aside from like the look and the feel. What are some of those?
I think one of a couple of things that must happen is it needs to be mobile responsive. So if you know today, if you look at it from your phone or tablet, it's not a good experience. So that will certainly happen. As well as Jay's mentioned user experience. So my team does ongoing, frequent professional development to stay on top of the latest trends and technologies from a website perspective. And Google pushes out about 500 to 600 updates every year. So you really do have to stay on top of it. We just did a pretty major professional development kind of session where we looked at all the latest trends from a design perspective as well as from a search engine optimization. So how Google looks at the site, things that you and I can't see to the eye, but Google sees behind the scenes. So we'll be addressing all of that. I envision that coming through in the terms of simpler navigation that's from a user experience perspective. So not how we, from an inside out perspective, think of the site, but how from an outside in as visitors come to the site and identifying the types of visitors or the types of users, what they want to find and what's important to them, and then how we want to guide them down the paths. You'll see all that implemented into the design.
What about connectivity with other agencies? Right now there's a lot going on. We've got economic development issues all over the place. We've got the CIBD, the Chamber, IP 2030. Is there an opportunity there to make it a little easier for people? We always want to joke that you shouldn't have to be an expert to figure out where you want to go. You just need to be able to get to the website and it will get you where you need to go. Is that coming, or is it just going to be a standalone?
Let me start and you jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jump in. A good point there is the website can't be all things for everybody, all right? So we're not going to be responsible for populating all aspects of anybody who would want to visit Pittsburgh, but we will have links and connections to other sites that are maintaining current content in other areas as well. So it's more of while it's going to have a substantial amount of content in itself, it's also going to be a nexus point for access to other websites and other sources of information as well.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I think you hit it really well. And in the upfront planning stages, we'll be identifying points of integration that are required for the minimum viable product. And so we'll be working with Jay and team, and when it makes sense and where it makes sense to have integrations, those are in scope.
And one other thing I just came to my head. I think it was the current issue with the current website was the ability to stream these meetings live. Wasn't that an issue with the website, or was that more of a cable
But that was more of a cable TV
Okay,
issue.
never mind.
But we are looking, that's going to be one of the options that we're going to keep on the table for sure. We want to be able to do live streaming.
Right.
That is a feature that we're going to have in the new site.
Very cool. If there are no other questions, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
Good job.
Looking
Good
forward
luck.
to seeing it.
Ordinance number S 1043. Consider approval of ordinance number S 1043, amending ordinance number S 1031, fixing the salary and compensation of the officers and employees of the city of Pittsburg, Kansas.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor and Commissioners. We revised the salary ordinance for 2017 to make adjustments for the 2% merit increase. Immediately, I want to say, on your desk was put a revision that we had found out we had missed a position. Customer service representative number 2 was left out in your original packet. So that revised one has that included in there. Do you have any questions for me regarding the revisions made?
None from my end. I'll move to approve. There's no other questions or comments.
I second.
Been moved and seconded for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Letter of agreement. Consider approval of the letter of agreement for city manager for calendar year 2017.
Mayor and Commissioners, this agreement revises Darren's agreement from last year and acknowledges a pay increase, but that's the only change in the agreement this year.
I've reviewed. I'll move to approve. There's no questions or comments.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. I think I would like to say at this time, though, although that motion didn't carry unanimously, I think the reason for that is not that we don't believe Darren needs to be here. We all do. We believe he's doing a good job. I believe there was just a difference in opinion in the amount of raise that he got this year. That's why we had the dissenting vote there, so just wanted to clarify that. Non-agenda reports and requests.
Nothing from us.
Seeing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Sorry.
Quick.